Archaeologists surely have one of the most interesting jobs out there. It's their job to identify things from the past. With their great ability of research and knowledge, these people are very much needed whenever anything new is found. Even those with the highest skills and knowledge sometimes find themselves to be very confused about certain things on our planet. The Earth might be tiny compared to other planets, but it's been through many changes. Some things that have been found on our planet have never been explained, and sometimes these objects create more questions than answers. One of these mysterious objects comes from the Vikings. The Vikings were known as seafaring people from the late 8th to the early 11th century. They established a name for themselves as traders, explorers and warriors. It's believed they discovered the Americas long before Columbus, and could be found as far east as the distant reaches of Russia. During their era, the Vikings could be found all over Europe. We have heard of the stories of Vikings being tough and raiding other nations' coasts, but what some may not be aware of is many of them brought families to Britain looking for land to farm. Good farmland couldn't really be found in their own countries. The parts of Britain where most Vikings settled were northern Scotland and eastern England. When people picture the Vikings, we usually imagine them as giant men hurling around anything they can get their hands on, but recent discoveries may disprove this. It turns out the Vikings may have had more sophisticated types of weapons at their disposal than anyone could have ever imagined, including archaeologists who have studied artifacts from that era. A prime example of this weaponry is the alphabet sword, which was discovered in more than one spot in Europe. These swords have been traced back to the Viking civilization, and were discovered in areas that were believed to have been the ancient battlegrounds of this historical race. But the thing that's quite puzzling about the sword was it's well made from a strong quality steel, and it was forged by an incredible craftsman. However, there's an issue with that statement. The time of the Vikings was supposed to be known as a time before such welding was actually done, so some have questioned how they created these swords. This was created during a time when the technology to create a sword of this magnitude didn't seem possible. The type of heat that was needed to fuse such a weapon wasn't even harnessed for a task until hundreds of years in the future. Yet the sword is proof that this process could have been figured out by a race that was perhaps more sophisticated than first believed. So what do you guys make of this discovery? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.